Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com helping you create something awesome today. So today we're going to cover a topic that I know a lot of you are probably really interested in. We're going to talk about how to get 100,000 subscribers in YouTube. That's right, 100K subscribers in YouTube. Now for some of you watching, you may feel that this is something that is completely impossible for you. And I'm going to be honest, there are many of you watching this who probably will not be able to get to 100,000 subscribers for one reason or another. You're either not going to be capable of putting in the time that it takes to do this in the long run and will get discouraged and will give up beforehand. That's probably the biggest overall barrier for most of you. But if you are willing to commit to this and willing to understand that it might take you years, then it is actually possible and achievable. I started taking my YouTube channel seriously in July of 2013. Before that, I had done sporadic videos like every 2 years or so. It was only when I decided to be consistent and make a real commitment to creating YouTube videos, not to become YouTube famous, not to make a ton of money, but because there was a specific thing that I wanted to share and put out into the world. That's when things really changed. That is when I saw consistent subscribers, engagements, and started building relationships here in YouTube. So I'm going to walk you through the things that I've done since July of 2013 until the making of this video in March of 2016 that helped me get where I am today. Now, as of the making of this video, I'm actually about 10,000 subscribers shy. The reason I'm doing this video early is for 3 reasons. For one thing, I know that when I do actually hit 100,000 subscribers, that actually I'm going to be traveling to 2 conferences doing speaking engagements, so I know that I'm probably going to miss the opportunity to do this video in real time. So that's number 1. The second reason is I don't want to wait a month to help somebody who might have 10 or 20 or 40,000 subscribers understand what comes next for them. I want to give that value up front, and I already know that I've built a system that is leading me up to 100,000 subscribers and has already got me to 90,000 subscribers. So I feel confident to do this video knowing that I'm really just a month away. And the final reason that I really want to do this video is the reality is that I couldn't find anyone who legitimately outlined a process for people to get 100,000 subscribers in YouTube. I combed through dozens upon dozens of videos for this topic, and there just really wasn't anybody talking about this in a meaningful way that was going to be practical for most people. So whether you're a young person, whether you're running a business, whether you have a brand for your company, it is possible to get 100,000 subscribers in YouTube. There are benefits to it. It shouldn't be your overall goal, but if it's something you want to achieve, then I can walk you through some of the things that helped me get to where I am today, and a lot of them will translate to what you're doing. Whether you're a how-to channel, whether you're a tech reviewer, whether you're marketing your business or your company or your personal brand, these steps are probably something you need to pay attention to. Now, ideally, you probably have at least a few thousand subscribers if you're watching this, but assuming that you're starting from 0, one of the most important things I can tell you is that you can prepare your channel to be successful before you make your content. The way that you prepare your content and your channel to be successful from the very beginning is you really need to pay attention to YouTube channel branding, and you need to study the YouTube dashboard. There are so many people, even with 100 subscribers right now, who have no YouTube channel artwork. You get to their channel and it looks like an amateur channel specifically for that reason, and that discourages people from subscribing because they're looking at you and realizing you're not taking this seriously. It'd be like showing up to a job interview looking like you just rolled out of bed. You don't want to do that. So go ahead and make sure that you got some great channel artwork for your channel beforehand. The other thing you can do is before you start putting content on your channel, you could actually start by curating similar content and making customized playlists until you have enough content to fill up the YouTube channel homepage for your channel. Doing this at least makes your channel look interesting, makes it look exciting, and there's stuff there to do. Even if it's not all your content yet, don't mislead people, just let them know that these videos are covering similar topics to yours, and don't be afraid to promote someone else's channel. Look, YouTube actually really cares about you making videos that lead to more watch time in YouTube itself and not somebody clicking away and going to Facebook or Twitter. So even if your video click-through doesn't go through to another video of yours, you still get credit for watch time, so that matters, and that will help your videos rank later. So many of you are under the mistaken impression that only big YouTubers can rank in YouTube. And I'm going to pop something up on the screen that's going to put that myth to rest, because there are people with 65 subscribers, 100 subscribers that can get onto the first page of YouTube for their topic. It comes down to a lot of things. It comes down to watch time in the first 72 hours. It comes down to actually knowing how to do search engine optimization and use the keywords, titles, descriptions, and tags properly in YouTube. Stuff that I've beat to death here on the channel, video after video. All of this stuff matters. So you could start at 0 and you can still rank on the first page of YouTube. The reason that big YouTubers dominate the front page is not just because they're big YouTubers, but because they know the things that you don't know, and they've been doing this for 2 and 3 and 5 years. They have more experience than you. They're gonna make more shots. Look, a basketball player who's been playing for 5 years makes more shots than a basketball player that's been playing for 5 months, okay? Bottom line, you know this. Deep down in your heart of hearts, you know that you're a beginner, and so if you bring the skills or the tactics of a professional, you have a better shot. You may not always win, but you have a better shot. So if you want to rank on the first page, you have to do the things that big people are doing to rank on the first page, instead of whining about not being big enough yet and thinking that the subscriber count matters. The subscriber count does not dictate the search ranking. The subscriber count helps improve the watch time. The subscriber count helps it do better and perform and get promoted in the first 72 hours. And that does help. But it's not the only way to do it, and it's not the only answer. So just keep those things in mind. I can't stress enough how much learning the YouTube dashboard and how YouTube works is a part of this. There are so many tools inside of YouTube itself that help promote your videos and promote your channel. Things like making a YouTube channel trailer will help you get exposure, help you grow your channel, and get more views. The other thing is, make sure from the very beginning that you're utilizing custom thumbnails. You don't have to get a certain amount of subscribers to make custom thumbnails anymore. You actually just have to associate a website, a .com, with your YouTube channel. If you don't have a website and you need web hosting, I recommend bluehost.com, and I have a link for them in the description and probably in an info card up here. You could also go to robertoblake.com/bluehost, and that will help you out. It's a really good hosting site, and if you have a website, that's going to really help your YouTube channel in a couple of ways. For one thing, you can post your videos to your website, and this gives them a chance to be discovered in Google instead of just YouTube, so that's actually going to help you, and it's going to help you promote those videos in social media. So that could be something that lets you get more viewers, more watch time, more exposure, more discovery. That's something that I did very early on, was I posted my videos to my blogs. So that actually can help you get more views, and more views lead to more subscribers. The other thing is, now that you have a website associated with your YouTube channel, you can make those custom thumbnails, you can make them very attractive, and that's going to lead people to click on them when you do rank in search or when you do share in social media, and that's going to help you get subscribers. Remember, the more views you get, the more chances you have to get subscribers. This also leads me to my next point. You need to be making consistent videos. When I first got started in YouTube, I was making videos like 5 times every 2 years. That wasn't going to get me anywhere. That's why I had a 0 audience when I really got going in July of 2013, after being on YouTube since 2009 with this particular channel. So it wasn't until I decided to commit to weekly content, and for me, those were weekly Photoshop tutorials, because that's what I was excited about, that's what I thought was cool, and that was what I was good at, and good at explaining to people. I started my YouTube channel as a how-to channel that began with Photoshop tutorials and other software that I knew, because that's just what I was good at and what I was comfortable with. I then started talking a little bit about my career as a graphic designer, and then I expanded the content from there onto the other things that I felt I was good at and that I was excited about. So making those thumbnails to attract the people who are excited about the same things as you really matters a lot when you're getting started on YouTube and in your growth strategy. In fact, when I ended 2015, my YouTube growth rate was about 5,000 new subscribers net every month, meaning the subscribers after people unsubscribe or their accounts get closed or whatever, I had 5,000 new subscribers left every month, and I did that consistently for a long time. It's why I went from 20,000 subscribers in February of last year to about 70,000 by the end of the year. What I did at the end of the year that made all the difference in me being able to get about 8,000 or 9,000 new subscribers every single month for the last 3 months consecutively was this. I went back to old videos that I felt had crappy thumbnails, and I updated them with my brand new thumbnail strategy. I went all out for my thumbnails. I did a photo shoot. I wore all the different colors of the Create Awesome shirts that match the different types of content. So I did like 6 photo shoots, 9 poses or so for each photo shoot to get some different looks. And then I downloaded hundreds of image assets from graphicstock.com where I got an account, and I put all of those together, and I spent hours upon hours photoshopping these beautiful thumbnails that could have been billboard advertisements, and I updated videos that were 6 and 7 and 8 and 12 months old, and I actually revived some of those videos from the dead, and I was able to get more views on them, get new subscribers. Doing that with my new content going forward worked out really well and made all the difference. I was able to grow my net subscriber growth rate every single month by over 30%. And it was already high. Most of the people I know in YouTube said that 5,000 new subscribers a month was insane. And I was able to almost double that. So it matters. Thumbnails are what get people to click on your content. That's a view. Then you have to deliver something interesting for them in the content, and that's gonna potentially lead to them being a subscriber. The other thing that made a real difference was when I started asking people to subscribe to the channel at the end of my videos. That made a huge difference because what I did was I delivered upfront value for them. They were trying to solve a specific problem by watching my YouTube video, which is, by the way, why I can have 80, 90,000 subscribers and still only get 5,000 or 3,000 views on a video. And I'm super happy about that because with a how-to channel, I'm not an entertainer. I'm not a YouTube gamer. I'm not PewDiePie. I'm not a personality like Tyler Oakley. I'm making each individual video to solve a problem for a group of people. If you don't have that problem, you don't need to watch that video, and I'm totally fine with that. So when I get those views, I know that I help those people solve that problem. And if they have problems similar to that, I know that I have a playlist of like 50 or 60 or 30 videos that they can continue watching, and that's a reason for them to subscribe. So I try to do everything to give somebody what they need in order to make a decision that they're going to subscribe to me and feel comfortable about that, but I also have the confidence to ask for it. And I ask for it at the end of the video so that they can make up their mind if I'm worth their time or not. And so I would recommend that you guys do that. Don't be afraid to ask for subscribers. Just don't go into other YouTubers' comments and do that, but do it within your own video, and that will help you a lot. Speaking of other YouTubers' comments, it's okay to comment on other channels and to ask questions and to contribute to the conversation. What's not okay to do is to spam it, inviting people to watch your content. That's the wrong thing to do. What you should do is you should have a great thumbnail image for your profile pic that is interesting and exciting, and if you're going to be on camera, make sure it's your face. If not, make sure it's your logo. And that will entice people to see who you are. You should also make sure that you have your About section of your YouTube channel filled out and that tells people exactly what you do and when you post videos and why they should subscribe. That way, when they hover over your name, if they decide your comments were interesting or funny or clever, then they can make a decision about watching your channel. So that is part of what will help you use comments to get attention, but you don't do it in a spammy way and you don't disrespect the channel that you're watching and commenting on. That's the wrong thing to do. Now, a lot of you also have talked about YouTube collaborations, and I'm going to be honest. Out of the 650, 700 and so videos on this channel, probably only 10 or 12 of them are collaborations, and they're not even true collaborations. They're interviews that I've done, and a lot of them are with people who don't have a YouTube audience, and none of them have a larger audience than I do. Collaborating with big YouTubers theoretically could help you, but it's also one of the biggest myths about growing a YouTube channel. So many small YouTubers are obsessed with the idea that collaborations and collaborations with someone with a larger audience is the answer, or that it's the who you know game. And I'll be honest, I got to where I am and I'm closing on 100,000 subscribers without any real significant help from anyone bigger than me in the YouTube community. I don't coordinate or network with big YouTubers, but I do talk to other people in the YouTube space, and I do make friends with them when I see them at conferences or conventions, or we happen to hang out in some of the same Facebook groups, and it's a lot of fun. What I don't do is I don't go asking them for favors or asking them to promote my channel. If they decide to mention me in a video, I'm super happy about it. If they decide to cameo a piece of content that I did, then great. But the reality is that I don't really think that that's the answer to climbing to where you want to be. I think that you should do it based off the power of your own content and what you're doing to build a relationship with your viewers. That being said, collaborations can be a lot of fun, and after March or April, I plan to do a lot more of those because a lot of me and my friends have just been excited about doing something fun together here on the channel that might create value for all of you guys. Whether it's something like watching us do a photo shoot together out somewhere, or whether it's one of me and my marketing buddies actually giving some relevant business advice, or somebody from the graphic design community cameoing here on the channel, like my good friend Will Patterson, or Sean Barry, or Stephen Looney. These are things we've been talking about, but they're really not for the sake of getting more audience, subscribers, or anything like that. For us, they're more about just having the opportunity to enjoy the things we love and share them with you guys. So that's what it's about, real talk. Now, since I mentioned it, yeah, 650, 700 videos in the past 2.5, 3 years. That's a lot of content, but for me, it was me doing stuff that I'm crazy excited about and that is fun for me. And I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to do those videos not really just so much to grow the channel as quickly as possible, but I wanted to test a lot of theories that I am giving to people when I give advice or when I talk to clients. I wanted to prove the point that I could produce a certain amount of content as a one-man band, as somebody doing this all by themselves, so that when a company says we don't have the time to do videos on YouTube to grow our business, or when a small business person tells me that they don't have the time, that I could always counterpunch to them that if I can put out 20, 30 videos every single month, then you can do one a week. And that matters. So you have to be consistent, and every video that you put out is an opportunity to get more views and thus more subscribers. The other thing that I found was a benefit was the more videos I put out, the faster I got better at editing and the more comfortable I got on camera. So if you want to get good at YouTube, doing more videos more often is a good way to find your cadence, find your voice, find what excites you, find out what your audience likes, and you won't be bumbling through it for as long. The more often you do this, you'll get better, you'll get more polished, just like playing an instrument, playing a sport. You're going to make mistakes. There are going to be flops. You're going to miss some notes. You're going to miss some shots. But the more you take, the better you'll get, and that is what matters. One of the other things I would say is your first year in YouTube, you probably want to disable your subscriber count for a couple of reasons. Most of you are going to get discouraged by your subscriber count, so stop looking at it. That's my honest advice about that. Instead, you should be focused on making every single video better than the last one. You should be focused on, well, how can I make the audio better? Or can I say that better? Or can I say it more concisely? Or, wow, what was my performance like? Or, gee, what was the lighting like? Or what was my setup like? You should really think about improving every single video and improving your performance, and stop worrying about the subscriber count. And to be honest, I really feel like there are videos that I did that got a ton of views compared to a more recent video that didn't get as many, that I think matter more. And I think that it was a better video that was more technically better for the editing, the lighting, the colors, and how I performed than an older video that might have had 100,000 views compared to a video that got 10,000 views. So I don't think the view count matters as much. I think that the real comments from real human beings matter. I think that subscriber count is something that the first year you shouldn't look at, because you should be building up to being someone who can make really good videos, and that will drive your subscribers. So the subscriber count shouldn't be the motivation or the thing that's demotivating you, because if you're committed to 100,000 subscribers, you're in this for the long haul. So however many you're getting now doesn't matter, because that's what you can get right now. You need to work your way up to being someone who can earn a higher amount of subscribers by being better. Think of it almost like the fact that, like, when you go to a job for the first time and you have no experience, you probably can't get a really high salary, right? But after you've been working at it for 2 or 3 years, if you go to another job, you can start at a much higher salary than you could when you had no experience. A lot of you are just neglecting the fact that you don't have any experience. You haven't learned the YouTube dashboard. You haven't learned how to master your camera or your phone. You haven't learned about audio. You haven't learned about lighting yet. You don't know enough things just yet, because you have no experience to go off of to earn those subscribers, in the same way that somebody starting day one on a job they've never done can't earn the salary of somebody who's in management or owns the company. So just respect the time that it takes. The other reason I said to ignore your subscriber count or to turn it off is because a lot of you want to believe that someone will only subscribe to a channel that already has subscribers, and it's why you guys are doing some spammy things and the wrong things. And I don't believe that. But if you really believe that in your heart of hearts, turn it off and make people judge your content on the quality of it and not your subscriber count. And that's what I have to say about that. Now, speaking of time, because I mentioned it, let's talk about how long videos can be and what that really does in the back end of YouTube with the algorithm a little bit. A lot of you have been listening to advice, and it's not that it's wrong advice. I just don't think that it's great advice about make your videos as short as possible, make your videos as short as possible. And everyone's talking about make it under 5 minutes, make it under 3 minutes, make it under 2. And there's a couple of problems with that. How do you expect to build a relationship with your audience in that amount of time? Like, if you're a really amazing personality, that could work for you. But if not, then that's not going to necessarily go your way. The other thing is, because YouTube watch time matters both in channel authority and in video authority, the longer a video is, the more YouTube likes it because you're increasing that YouTube session time. Now, granted, not everyone's going to stick around for a 10 or 20 or 30 minute or an hour-long video, but the people who do, they're going to be invested in you. They're going to commit. They're more likely to become a subscriber. And so I would say that there is some value there. Now, I do both. I mix it up. There are people who want short-form content, and that's fine. For example, I will probably do a bunch of micro videos in a series next month or the month after that about getting to 100,000 subscribers. I'll probably make it like a 10-episode thing, and those videos will probably be no more than 5 minutes for all of you. And I'm going to call you guys out on this, by the way. All of you lames who want to go into the comments and you already said too long, didn't watch, TLD, guess what? Okay, those videos are going to be for you, but the reality is that they're watered down. They're watered down. The real reality is that in a how-to style video or something that's informational is that the longer it is, the more legitimate it is, the more detailed it is, the more context you get, the easier it's going to be to say, oh, wow, that made sense. Now, there are some people who just don't have a long attention span. If that's your audience, cater to your audience if that's your audience. Personally, I'm not here for people with a short attention span. I'm not here for like 12-year-olds who want to watch a 15-second video and move on with their life. I have platforms for that called Instagram and Twitter videos and Snapchat, and Vine. There are platforms for that, and I make content in those platforms for those people. But I'll be honest, it's not nearly as valuable as the longer content. It's not nearly as valuable as when I do a public speaking event and I do an hour-long session plus some Q&A. It's not as valuable as for the Patreon supporters who are paying like $5 a month. I do special Hangout on Air live videos, hanging out with them, answering their questions, and just hanging out and talking with them and seeing what they want to see next in the YouTube channel. And that matters. That's an hour of time that they're happy to spend because they're engaged, they're involved, and they want to get value out of it. It's like there's a reason we commit to watching Game of Thrones for an hour. There's a reason that we watch Scandal for an hour. There's a reason that people will sit there and they will binge watch, their Saturday morning cartoons. There's a reason for it. If you care about the content, you will watch it for as long as it takes to get what you want. I sat through, almost 3 hours of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and everything like that, and was happy to do it. I paid to do that. So when people tell you do not make long content, they're catering to the broadest audience possible, i.e. most people have the attention span of a goldfish, and that's fine if you feel that that is the majority of your market. But if your market is people who might be more involved, or if your content requires it, if you're doing a Photoshop tutorial, unless you're doing one tool or one technique, it might need to be a 10 or 15-minute video. And people who have a job to do, who don't want their boss to yell at them, will watch that Photoshop tutorial like they did with mine to learn that thing. If you're teaching people how to edit a YouTube video, they already know that they're spending like 5 or 6 hours to edit their YouTube videos. If you're teaching them that they can edit it in 20 minutes, then they're saving time by watching your 20-minute tutorial. So it's just a matter of, well, what's the value? What does the audience want? Who is the audience? If your audience is 15-year-olds, probably need to stick to the 3-minute video. If your audience is working professionals, well, you need to respect their time and you need to have both long, medium, and short-form content just based on what their need is. I mean, I even went so far as to do a podcast because there are people who can't sit down and watch a video all the time. They have to go work out at the gym. They have to go commute an hour to their job. They have a road trip. They're sitting in the airport. I made some content for them too. So I don't expect all of you to do that. I'm just saying, understand who your audience is, respect them, and give them what they need from you. So that's going to help you. By doing that, you have a diversity of content, by the way. There's content on this channel that's under 2 minutes. There's content on this channel that's under 5 minutes. There are 10-minute videos. There are 20-minute videos. There are videos for everybody in like every category of the type of videos that I make that fit their needs. And so a diversity of content in terms of format or length, that could be helpful. There will probably be a point where I do 2-minute videos on this channel. I will probably do some kind of series called 2-minute marketing, and I will literally probably do marketing advice in 2 minutes and break those videos up. That's probably something I'll do. So don't be afraid to experiment. By the way, speaking of show formats and speaking of channel formats, it's called a YouTube channel. So don't be afraid to experiment with diversity of content. So many people niche down, and that's fine. You could actually probably scale your YouTube channel faster than I did mine by sticking to one type of thing, sticking to photography, sticking to social media, sticking to tech, sticking to mobile apps, sticking to gaming, sticking to beauty, whatever that is. Go with your niche. Go with what you know. Me, I wanted my YouTube channel to reflect my skills, my business experience, my personality, and my hobbies. And so I had a career as a graphic designer, so I did a lot of my stuff around that. I leveraged and worked social media as a marketing manager, so I took advantage of that. Obviously, making YouTube videos and the fact that I worked my first jobs as a photographer and as a photography assistant and worked at a photo studio, I did content around that. I did camera gear reviews and things like that. So I just took all the things that I was very excited about, the things I was talking to my friends 7 days a week about, and I made content around that for my channel, and I made a 7-day-a-week schedule. That was my choice. I'm not telling any of you to do that. I think that a lot of you could win if you decide to do like a photography channel and do 1 day a week where you do camera or product gear reviews, do 1 day a week where you give advice to new photographers, and do 1 day a week where you do retouching tutorials, do 3 videos a week. That could be your way of doing it, and that could be consistent. If you're a beauty guru, there could be 1 day a week where you specifically tackle cool nail designs. There could be another day of the week where you review beauty products, and there could be another day of the week where you do makeup tutorials. And that gives you a diversity of content. That gives you 3 shows on your channel that people can tune into. It'll keep you from getting bored. It'll give you more sponsorship opportunities. It will help you out. Also, what this does mean is there will be some times if you do different types of content and if you do variety of content that you'll run into what I ran into, where you'll have 80, 90, 100,000 subscribers, but only 5,000 will watch this type of video, 10,000 will watch this type of video, 20,000 will watch this type of video, and that is okay. That is okay. And don't let people beat you up in the comments about it, because what they don't understand is that's what television networks do. Television networks put on different types of shows, and not every single type of show plays out to the same people and the same group of people, but you know what? They're selling the advertising as a bundle, and on YouTube you're doing that too, and the advertising money does matter. It does matter when you want to get to 100,000 subscribers. It matters because to get to 100,000 subscribers, there's a certain amount of time you have to commit. So making that practical for you is important. Now me, I run a full-time business. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. It may look like it for the volume of content I put out and the number of subscribers I have, but the reality is that I can do YouTube as often as I do because I built a system. For one thing, I shoot in 1 hour. I probably shoot 5 to 8 videos in 1 hour. And I don't have to do that every day, but I do it multiple days of a week. I can shoot an entire month's worth of content in just a couple of hours out of the week. Probably the equivalent of one of your standard work days can give me a month of YouTube content. That is the system that I came up with for producing my videos, which is the same system that Hollywood and network television uses. I then also set aside some time, probably the equivalent of 1 working day, to edit those videos. Maybe it's 2 working days. It depends. But I've set aside maybe 10 hours of my week for video editing. 10 hours of, sorry, not even 10 hours of my week, 10 hours of my month. 10 hours of my month for video editing. Sorry about that. So maybe 10, maximum of 20 hours I set aside for video editing. And that's me. But that's because I'm producing 30 plus videos every single month. You don't need to do that. In fact, I don't recommend most of you do that. If you want to be a daily vlogger, it'd be easier for you to shoot your videos and edit as little as possible, and you can probably get away with that, and that'll probably be easy on you compared to what I'm doing. The volume of those videos, once you figure it out, and by the way, do not make that many videos until you figure out how to make good videos first. The volume of those videos means I have more opportunities to get views, reach new audiences, and get subscribers. So that's part of the strategy and why I do it. But to be honest, for me, a lot of it also was to promote my business, to scale my personal brand, to get more speaking engagements, to get more writing deals, to get more clients, and do all of those things. So I actually made it practical for me to make YouTube part of my business model. And if you're going to do this on a regular basis, making money does matter. One of the reasons money matters is equipment. You can start YouTube on your smartphone. You can start YouTube on your smartphone, and it's perfectly fine. And that doesn't take you a lot of money. You can get a $20 lapel mic, like the one in my original setup. There's a link to my entire YouTube setup in the description below, by the way. You can do that, and it'll be fine. Get a tripod or get a mini tripod, and you're good to go. Maybe some decent lighting. Maybe you shoot in front of a window, whatever it is, right? But in the long run, to be competitive in the long run, unless you have an amazing personality and a strategy like Jenna Marbles, then you're probably going to need to get a decent camera and some lighting, and that's probably what you're going to need to do. Now, here's the thing. When I invested in my YouTube setup, I put it on my Amazon card plus some money I had saved, and it probably cost me about $1,500. But all of my equipment is still around today, and it's depreciated dramatically in value. The camera was the most expensive thing. You can probably get my basic YouTube setup of the $25 tripod because I'm in my home office, so I don't have to worry about it being heavy enough and being super stabilized. You can probably get that for about $25. It's in my list in the description if you click on the Amazon affiliate link. My lighting kit here, it's 2 sets of spider lights with 5 bulbs a piece and with switches and stands, and that was about $120 now. And my camera with a lens is probably about $300, $400 for the new version of my camera. Comes with the kit lens. It's a DSLR from Nikon. It's Nikon D3200. You can get the D3300, which is a little better, and it's going to be sharper for you. And that's probably under $400 with the lens, everything you need. So for about $600, if you can save up for that, if you can work a summer job, or you've got that sit in the bank, you put it in a credit card, long term, that setup is good enough to get you from 0 to 100,000 subscribers because it's still the camera and still the kit that I'm using to this day. I actually made a point of not upgrading this kit before I get 100,000 subscribers to prove to all of you guys that for about somewhere between $500 and $1,000, you can have a quality YouTube setup, you can have a professional setup, and you can get to 100,000 subscribers without having to spend $5,000 or get a 4K video camera or any of that stuff that you see from the biggest YouTubers. You can do this too. That is the entire point of my channel with regard to the Friday videos that are about growing a YouTube channel, are about you can do this too, but you have to commit, you have to put into the work, you have to make it practical, you have to invest the time, you have to invest a little bit of money, and you have to understand that it's not about you, it's not about becoming YouTube famous, it's about delivering quality content for an audience that cares about the things that you care about. So let's do a quick recap and rundown. You need to brand your YouTube channel from day one and make sure your YouTube channel looks impressive from day one. You need to know who your audience is and what they care about and what you're going to give them and what they're going to get excited about. You have to have a content strategy. You have to also be consistent, and you have to show up at least 1 to 2 times a week, maybe more. Ideally, I'd say the sweet spot is making 3 videos a week, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever your schedule is going to be, but stick to that schedule, stick to the content that you've promised your viewers, and do that. It is so very important. So make sure you have quality images for your thumbnails, your channel artwork, your profile pic. Fill out all of the fields for the YouTube channel. Fill out the YouTube in the advanced settings, the keyword tags, fill out your titles, tags, and descriptions. Do not be lazy on your titles, tags, and descriptions. Make sure your titles, tags, and descriptions are things that people will plug into the YouTube search box. Make sure you do that. It is so important. Learn YouTube SEO and search engine optimization. Bottom line, it's going to help you rank. Use social media to get more viewers. Associate a website with your YouTube channel and plug your videos into your blog. Put your videos in places that are appropriate to them. Do not spam people. Comment and interact with other people's YouTube content, but do not link back to your channel and do not advertise your channel and do not beg for subscribers. Connect with people that care about the content and care about the things you want to care about. Collaborate with them if they're open to it. And collaborate with people at the same level as you. Do not think that you need to get some big time YouTuber to help you out or to give you shout outs. It doesn't really do anything, and really it's the wrong way to go. You can do this, and it's better to come along with people that care about you and that you build a friendship with rather than just somebody that you have no context and relationship with because they're popular. You know, stick with your real friends. Don't try and chase the popular kids. Make good quality content. Make content that you're excited about, that you know your stuff, and that is going to be fun for you, and just try and grab as many people who are excited about the same things as you as possible. There are 100,000 people out there somewhere that care about what you care about. So just stick with trying to reach them. Listen to your audience, learn your YouTube analytics, make quality videos, make them as often as you can, and remember that every single video is a new opportunity to get subscribers. That was a lot. Before I go, I actually want to address the YouTube search engine optimization thing like one more time because I really feel like I want to give so much time and attention to that, because the reality is that that was what I used in the very beginning and even to this day to help me get exposure in YouTube. I remember I really started doing this hardcore in July of 2013, and I still had to learn the platform and learn what works. The advantage I had going in, I'll be honest with you, is I've been doing video editing for a long time before that on my own. I've been doing video editing before YouTube ever existed. You know, I was a grown adult when YouTube started. I had already had a career and done things that other people hadn't done. I've done advertising, marketing, and business. So I understood as a web designer and someone who codes how search engines work. I understand that, you know, someone's going to type in a phrase into a box, and that maybe if my title and my description and my tag and the body of the description has that information, that there's a good chance that it will get discovered, because that's how websites work. And Google is the largest search engine in the world and is the parent company of YouTube. YouTube's a giant search engine too. It's the second biggest search engine in the world. So I focused heavily on SEO. I didn't focus on collaborations. I didn't ask anyone for shout outs. I didn't buy ads for my channel. I didn't do any of that. I focused entirely on search engine optimization and on good thumbnails and on good titles that were how-to driven and how-to based. And so that was what I did. There are some of you who are not going to be good at SEO, so there's some tools you can get. You can get a tool called Longtail Pro. You can use the YouTube search box. You can use Google searches, and you can get this cool thing called TubeBuddy, which is a plugin for your browser. You can get that tubebuddy.com/awesome. They aren't sponsoring this video, but I am an affiliate of theirs, and I stand by this tool. The paid version of this tool is amazing, and I've seen small YouTubers use it to help them rank better in search. My good friend Owen Hemsath over at VideoSpot uses it. Top YouTuber Daryl Eves, certified YouTube instructor, uses it. Tim Schmoyer, another YouTube certified instructor, uses it. So understand that having the tools that YouTubers use to be successful is not limited to the right camera, the right editing software, the right lights. It is also about understanding the platform and using tools to help you with that. I also use Evernote to keep my YouTube stuff organized. When I'm planning my YouTube videos, I'm writing out what videos I'm going to do for the week, the month, the year, believe it or not, and I'm putting it all into some organized notes in Evernote, which you can grab for free. It's a great little app. I set alerts for myself to record my videos in my iPhone. So there are all kinds of little things that you could be doing that are definitely going to help you. And before I ended this video, I want to just give you a little bit more context. By the way, since I brought up video editors as something I didn't talk about earlier, a lot of you with the expense thing, you're worried about not having the most expensive software in the world, whether you're a small YouTuber or a bigger YouTuber. Look, get Adobe Premiere Elements if you're on Windows or Mac, and if you're on Windows, get Corel Video Editor. Both of these are under $100. You can save up and get them. The free editors are nice, but they suck up so much of your time, and it's gonna make it harder and gonna make you less excited to make videos. So I don't use the free editors, and I don't recommend them. I do talk about them because there are people who just need to start there, and there are young people that need that, but Adobe Premiere Pro is what I use. If you want to use Final Cut Pro on the Mac, you know, hats off to you. I use this because I love the Adobe ecosystem, and it lets me do work the way I want and be flexible instead of doing everything the Apple way. So I like that. I like that I can work on any of my computers, not just the iMac. I can work on my Dell XPS 13. I can work on my other PC. So that's what I want to do. But you can use whatever tools fit you best. You can use Sony Vegas, you can use Avid, you can use Premiere Elements. It's $75. You can use Corel Video Editor. It's like $80, $90, and those will help you edit professional video without breaking the bank. So that is my advice there. And remember, I've done a ton of videos on this channel. I've probably done 100 videos by now on helping you grow a YouTube channel and giving YouTube advice. So you guys can feel free to check those out. Remember, I do have the free email course on growing a small YouTube channel, so you can use that as well, and those things will help you. These are the things, the core things that helped me get to 100,000 subscribers. Caveat, if you're watching this in March, I'm 1 month away from that. And I have about 90,000 as of the making of this video. So that is how I did it. I focused on search, I focused on making good videos, I used solid gear, and I used solid editing practices, and I taught myself all this stuff. I didn't learn it in college. I taught myself using the tools, the books, the internet, and just doing it. So that all matters. You have to practice just like anything else. And that's what I did, and it helped me build a great YouTube channel, but more importantly, it helped me use that YouTube channel to grow a successful business and build out my personal brand. And more importantly than all of that, it let me help 100,000 people be more creative and more confident in creating awesome things and sharing them with the world. I built this channel specifically because this did not exist when I was starting my career or when I was trying to learn anything. There was no YouTube. YouTube started when I was an adult at about 22 years old, and it wasn't what it is today. YouTube is a great tool, and it's a great experience, and I wanted to make content that would have helped a young Roberto out, and so that's what I wanted to do for all of you, and that's the legacy that I wanted to leave behind, and I thought this was a great platform for that. So that's why. You have to understand why you want to do YouTube, and it should not be to get 100,000 subscribers. It should not be to be YouTube famous. It should not be to make a lot of money. All those things are results that can come from this, but you should be doing this because you want to. You should be doing this because you want to create something awesome and share it with the world, and I hope that my content and my videos have helped you do that. And if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of my creative journey and part of what has let me come this far, and I really appreciate it. If all of this and all the brain dump that I just gave you seems really overwhelming, there is something else that we can do together. I do offer one-on-one coaching and consulting for creative professionals who are either trying to get their jobs together, get a career, transition in their career, or trying to do public speaking, or whatever they're trying to do that I've actually done. I try to help them out. If you're trying to do video marketing, live streaming, produce short films, make a YouTube channel, I can help you with one-on-one coaching. It is paid, and we do that face-to-face in Skype. So feel free to reach out to me at rblake@robertoblake.com with the subject line coaching session, and we can talk about setting up a one-on-one paid consultation so I can help you create something awesome and share it with the world and figure out how to execute on your 30, 90, 60-day goals and your 5 biggest pain points. Yeah, I know that was a little bit of a sales pitch, but the reality is some of you actually need one-on-one help because free generic advice in YouTube, guess what? Success is not one size fits all. These videos have helped a lot of people, but maybe it's not enough and maybe you need some extra help. So I wanted to offer you that opportunity. If you don't ask something, you don't get it. So I wanted to go ahead and ask for that. Now, if any of you don't like that, then I apologize. So anyway, I hope this video helped you guys understand a little bit more about my journey to 100,000 subscribers. Maybe this will help you with what you're doing. I wanted to make this video because, well, nobody's made this video. Nobody decided to take an hour to actually explain how all this stuff works or how they got to where they got. At least nobody I was able to find. So, that being said, that's why I did it. Now, if you still want to learn about YouTube, there's some other great people I can recommend. You can watch Daryl Eves. You can watch Owen Hemsath at VideoSpot. You can watch Amy Schmittauer at Savvy Sexy Social. You can watch Tim Schmoyer over at Video Creators. These are some of the top YouTube experts, and they're all good friends of mine, and there are people who have not yet cameoed on the channel, and I think that would actually help a lot of you to just hear some different advice from someone other than me from time to time and explore whether those people have something to offer you or not. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today. Who knows? Maybe it'll lead you to being able to help 100,000 people. Take care.